In today's video, there are some trending events happening in the world of travel that I want us to zero in on. And being in Colombia at this point, I have been following a very interesting story because the Colombian passport, which is a stronger passport than I even gave any thought to, is facing a challenge. Now, as a Jamaican living in Jamaica and having the luxury, I can now call it the luxury, of Pika being the manufacturer, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, our Jamaican passports are made in house. I assume that that is what happens with passports generally. So you can imagine my surprise when at first I saw a news update on TV saying that there was a challenge with the company assigned to manufacture passports for Colombians, and that company is based in Portugal. Now, just to shed a little more light on this, the hiccup seems to be with the one of the five countries, or sorry, one of the five entities with the technology to provide um it's more than machine readable. It's an enhanced type passport which allows for entry, for example, in areas such as the Schengen zone. What this really means is without a company or an entity that does the enhanced passports, then they might not be readable when a passport holder attempts to access visa free Schengen countries. As such, there has been a huge delay in Colombia for the issuance of passports. And as the news has been making itself known, there are long lines with huge wait times to get your passport appointment to go ahead and secure new or renewals. Now, it struck me as very interesting. And as I followed the story a little further, it spoke of students who will not be able to re-register or register for colleges abroad based on passports that have expired. And the wait time for renewal is of such that it would fall outside of the period for renewal. Very interesting indeed. The idea of even speaking of this came as I reflected on the ease that I had in renewing my Jamaican passport and how fortunate we were that everything is done in house, quote unquote, locally in Jamaica. But of course, there are those who would say, but you do not have an enhanced passport that would allow you visa free access to some of the most coveted places on earth. And yes, that is true. But it is just very, very interesting. Not sure if any of you will also find this to be an interesting topic, but for sure, being in travel, it's so important to understand the ins and outs and the ramifications that make travel happen. So, give me your thoughts on this whole situation. The fact that persons will have to go for an extended period without a passport, without a valid passport, simply because the processes involved have caused a delay. We have lots more to talk about, and I hope that you will share your thoughts and comments as we go throughout this summer. Talk to you soon. Ciao for now.